happy, nobody is happy. So, and the reason I went off is because Midnight Publishing is a party of two, me and Mary.
And Mary is a very limited partner.
At this point, we're getting her better though. The the thing is, Midnight Publishing has grown exponentially since June of 2024 when God and I had a conversation because my publisher died
Okay.
and didn't know what to do. Had two friends that needed their books published. My books needed to be published, and my publisher died, which I thought was rude of her. But that being said, so this little voice said, "If not you, who? If not now, when?" And I'm going, "Ooh, well, 20 years experience. Okay, let's see what happens. The worst I can do is fail. But if I don't try, then I've already failed." So, started
That
out
sounds like a
with
Stanleyism.
a Stanleyism. I like that. A Stanleyism. We're going to do Stanleyisms from now on. We're going to call them Stanleyisms.
I like that.
There's a story behind that we'll tell you later on in the podcast. Anyway, so I started out with my books, my friend Peggy Engler's books, and my friend Isaac Jones' children's books, it was a dream book that he wanted published that he didn't think was going to get published. Well, along came Jason Wolfgang Gerhardt. He said, "Here, take The Ferryman and put it up." Okay. So we republished his book. Changed the cover and everything. Cover's over the top, as usual. Then Andrea came along. Andrea Dean Van Scoik said, "Do you want to redo my books?" I said, "Sure, send them to me." So she sends me her books. And then people just started coming. Just started rolling in. It was a God moment. In November of 2024, Gwendolyn Law said, "Yvonne, I have a book." I said, "Okay." She says, "It's my story about domestic violence and how I lived it." I said, "Send it to me." Well, she let it go. She sent it to me. And then Mary came on board and Connie Stiegel came on board. Alta Desanoid came on board. Kim Carmichael came on board. Mary brought with her Linda Humphreys and Rose Padwick. And all these authors started coming on board. Now, bear in mind, Midnight Publishing does not charge for anything. And if you go on our Facebook page, you will see what the going rate is for the different things we do here for nothing. My cousin came on board. Ellie Ryan came on board.
J.O.
Dale Veely came on board.
or J. Joe.
Dar J. Joe came on board. C.R. Dunham is on board. All of these authors started coming on board. And when I used to do workshops, the first thing I would say is, "How bad do you want this?" And then, "What? I want it badly." No, how bad do you want this? Are you in a committed relationship with your product?
How hungry are you?
How hungry are you? Now, people go, "What are you talking about?" In the marketing world, and in any business, when you start out, you want to get out there. You want to reach as many people as you can because you want them to buy the product. You're not the product. Your book is the product. You are the brand. So you have to
It's
put
like
your
Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola's the company. Well, actually, I think the company's something else. But they have various kinds of drinks. You have the Coke, Coke Zero, you have Coke Light, you've got
Sprite.
Tab still even. And they're all different products made by the same company,
the brand,
the brand.
which is
And
Coca-Cola.
each author is the brand. I mean, how many people hear the words, the name Stephen King, and know instantly who that is? You were talking earlier this morning about Edgar Allan Poe. You might not know that he wrote The Raven or Murder on whatever, Rue Morgue. But you know kind of who he is. You hear Ernest Hemingway. And you might not know that he wrote Hills Like Elephants, but you know he's a very prolific writer.
Exactly.
And it's the same. Yvonne Mason, Dale Veely, Dar Jajo, Andrea Dean Van Scoik, Mary Brotherton. We are our brands. Our books are the products. And it doesn't matter if you have one book or 100 books.
You're still the brand.
You're still the brand.
So, this morning on my live, yesterday I went off about my newbies getting scammed, and we're going to talk about that too. But on my live this morning, I went off on my authors. And you go, what? Yeah, I went off on my authors. And the reason for that is because when an author comes to me and say, well, how can I get myself out there more? What do I need to do? My first response is get on every social media you possibly can, promote Midnight Publishing, promote other authors. We have several authors. Mary is one of them. Gwendolyn Law is another one. Andrea Dean Van Scoik is another one. Bonnie Clark is another one. Sherry Ann Richardson is another one. These people, when
Brandy Highfield is not an author.
No, that's
and
my
she
daughter.
Promotes us.
So what these authors do is when I put something up on the Midnight Publishing page, because I automatically repost it on my personal page, repost it on the Off the Chain page, and repost it on the Indie Author page. I post it on the website. I find a way to post it on YouTube. I'm now posting it on TikTok. It automatically goes up on LinkedIn, X, Tumblr, Blogger,
Blue Sky,
Mastodon. It goes up on the Substack. When I put anything up on the webpage, it goes up on Substack. So what I went off on the authors about this morning is if you want to get yourself out there, you get yourself out there by helping others.
Oh, absolutely.
Because what's going to happen is you promote another author, they're going to turn around and promote you. This is the nucleus.
And not only that, it's easy for me to say, hey, look at me. Look what I've done. Look how wonderful I am. I have written umpteen books, and this is what they're about. You need to buy. After a while, people get tired of seeing this shameless self-promotion. When we promote other authors, and another thing that I do is I make these promotions that have nothing to do with selling my books. I've started putting out like a word, an obscure word usually, with a definition and a little picture. I put out my book reviews. I put out where other people comment on what I've done. Case in point, you know this story already. It was so funny. My husband and I were sitting on the couch. We were getting ready to watch a football game. And before the game started, he said, let's watch a little YouTube. He opened up YouTube on the big TV. And the third video was one of our podcasts. He goes, wait, back up. Is that my wife on TV? Like, well, it's YouTube, yeah. I mean, I'd been seeing it for months. Anytime I open YouTube, we're there. He goes, I can understand searching for you. When the whole 8 years you had Be Unique, you were doing YouTube videos. They never made it on the main YouTube channel.
You want me to tell you why?
Go
Because
right ahead.
my YouTube channel, which is under my name and Midnight Publishing, has over 11,000 people.
Subscribers.
Yeah.
And
And
see,
every
this
day
is
something new goes up.
and my husband was just absolutely gobsmacked is the only word I can think of to see my picture up there along with his cop videos, his sports videos, his car videos, and whatever else YouTube wants to put up. It was on YouTube's homepage.
There you go.
And I mean, I tried this for years for my own self. I tried it with my charity that I ran. But because I'm affiliated with Midnight Publishing and Yvonne, who does have 11,000 subscribers, it's up there. And if you want your books and your brand, your face to be on YouTube, contact either me or Yvonne and say, I want to be on your podcast one day. We want to do this with other authors and talk about, everybody wants to talk about the process. Have you noticed that? Tell me what your process is. Well, my process, who was it? I think it was Hemingway who said you sit down at the typewriter, open up a vein and bleed.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of that way. I sit down at my computer and I just type, and what happens, happens. And right now, because I'm in the recovery phase of a heart attack, I'm not pushing myself mentally. I'm doing the easy stuff. And believe it or not, the easy stuff is marketing. Although a lot of writers think they don't have to do that. I've written a book, I got it published, go buy it, and they walk away. That is not the way to be a successful author.
And that's why I went off on my live this morning. Because I'm tired of the excuses. I'm tired of the poor, pitiful me. I'm tired of tell me what to do. I have given you the tools to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
All you have to do is share everything that I put up there, whether it has to do with you or Mary or another author. Share it. Subscribe to the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Join the TikTok. Join the website. Share it.
And I will say this, a lot of people are not joiners. A lot of people are scared to do this, that, or the other. Fine. Pick one. And this is what I told my son. He's anti-social media for a lot of reasons. And I said, you don't have to join everything, but you need to join one, and you need to work the daylight out of it. Let that be your thing.
Our TikTok channel has been up for 72
Less
hours.
than a week.
72 hours. And I've worked the daylights out of it. And let me tell you what, as of this morning, there's 1,026 views. Our shorts on that channel are running anywhere from 108 views to over 200 views per short. So yeah, folks are seeing it. They're 7 seconds long because people's attention span is no longer than that. If you will watch the commercials on TV or on your videos, they're no longer than 5 or 7 seconds. And the reason for that, people don't want to deal with it. So our videos are anywhere from 6 to 7 seconds long. I can cram a whole hell of a lot in 7 seconds. We used to
Yes,
call
you
it.
can.
We
And
used
if,
to call it
if you
video.
haven't seen Midnight Publishing's video shorts, you've got to. I mean, if you don't want to go to TikTok, go to YouTube and just type in Yvonne Mason or Midnight Publishing.
Yeah,
They'll
'cause-
both pop it up. And just, I mean, and you can watch 10 videos in a minute.
mhm.
Might be a minute and 5 seconds, but if they're only 7 seconds long, you can watch 10 of them. And for crying out loud, when you watch it, give it a thumbs up, share it if you can.
And not only do I do that, but now I put the synopsis in there. I also put the link to go get the book. What more do my authors want? And then I put it up on the Facebook page and I tag them so it automatically goes to their page.
Yeah.
All they have to do is reshare it on whatever social media they've got. You copy and paste the link to your website, to wherever you are. When you join us on TikTok, I can share those videos to your page. I did a whole lot of that last night. Ladies and gentlemen, when I say, how hungry are you? I'm not talking about how hungry are you about writing a book. Anybody can put words to paper. Anybody. My 4-year-old great granddaughter can put words to paper. How hungry are you is talking about marketing yourself as the brand. When I first started this way back, I had another cousin that was getting published, and I said, here, this is the only social media. It was MySpace. It's the only social media out there. She said, oh, I don't want my information out there. And I just said, really? Okay, so how do you propose to sell your product if you're not marketing yourself as your brand? How do you propose to get anything out there?
What about our darling Carol Bell Vance?
Yes. Bless her. Drug her kicking and screaming into this industry. And she kept saying, I don't want my name on the book. I don't want my name on the book. It's a God thing. I said, yes, Carol, it's a God thing. But even the writers of the books of the Bible and the New Testament put their name on the letters. God gave you the talent. God gave you the ability. It's okay to put your name there. After we got over that hurdle, she started writing like a fiend. And the Sunday school classes, where she's from in New York, at the church that she attended, every time a new book comes out, they buy 16 to 20 books at a pop. She gets paid for those books and her royalties because they buy them at retail price. She doesn't buy author copies and send them up there. The Sunday school classes purchase them.
Yeah.
Because the Bible also says a man is worthy of his hire.
Absolutely.
So,
And none of the books are overpriced.
no, they're not.
priced very reasonably. And that there's so many things that I could say about the way you work this, but we want to remind people to be marketing themselves. And we are going to be doing a class. I will tell you when. Just give me half a second here. We're going to be doing a class. Come on, there you are. No, that's not the one. Anyway, we're going to be doing a free class about marketing in
February,
May.
May.
How to market your book and how to take advantage of free options. And y'all, talk about working outside the box or thinking outside the box. Yvonne and I are really good at coming up with ways to tell people, look at my book, buy my book, without actually using those words. You don't want to be obnoxious with your marketing, but it takes a minute to become a household name. Yvonne didn't get 11,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel overnight. But now we can take advantage of her longevity on that and other social media platforms.
On my personal Facebook page, there's almost 4,000. We're going to call them friends because that's what they are. That does include just the followers.
Yeah.
Plus, we have the indie author page, Off the Chain page, author Yvonne Mason page, Yvonne Sewell page. There's 4 pages. 5, count the one I use every day. Plus the Midnight Publishing page.
And that's just Facebook, folks.
That's just Facebook. That's not Twitter, Tumblr, Blogger, WordPress, YouTube, TikTok, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Substack,
LinkedIn.
So that's 15 Instagram, Threads. That's 17 outlets that I personally use for all of y'all and for myself. 17 outlets. Oh, and there's a LinkedIn page that I can't get into because I don't know, not LinkedIn, but Linktree, that is having a brain fart. Eventually I'll get around to figuring that one out. But it's up there under Midnight Publishing. It needs updated, but I can't figure out how to get into it because it's being stupid, but we'll figure it out.
Yvonne, are you on any of the author pages like Goodreads, All Author?
Personally, I am. I'm on Goodreads personally. I have been for years. So that's now 19 outlets that I have built. I'm still on MySpace.
Plus Amazon.
Do what?
Plus Amazon.
Plus Amazon. So that's 21 outlets because I'm still on MySpace after all these years. It's still up and running. Who knows? I may revive that one. So 21 outlets I am on personally and for the company because I took all of my personal outlets and made them part of the company. Did I do it overnight? No, it took a lot of hair pulling. It took a lot of bad words. It took a lot of how do I do a workaround? I am committed to this. Used to say I was a party of 1. Now I'm a party of 2.
Before the end of the year, we might be a party of 3 if Vicky decides she wants to dip her toes in.
There you go. So what I am saying is this is not a part-time hobby. I've been told, oh, you have a nice hobby.
Oh, please, honey, why would you put yourself through this aggravation?
If it were a hobby.
What you're doing is a calling. It's an avocation. I know you, and I know how you follow God. And when you say, hey, God, use me, you better be prepared to be used. That doesn't mean that you open yourself up to being abused or taken for granted by other people. What you're doing is a God thing, but God doesn't want you to get beat up. He doesn't want you to be frustrated. And people don't seem to understand how to help themselves.
Let me tell you the process again, people, of what goes on that y'all don't see. All y'all see is the finished product. You don't see, okay, I got a new book from Bonnie Clark yesterday. And I have to go in, I have to put in 2 title pages, the copyright page, take it down to a 6x9, do any indents that are necessary, do no space between paragraphs. Then I have to go back in and look for any grammatical errors, dangling participles, missing quotes, missing periods, misspelled words, or a sentence that you're going, that's not going to work.
If you have to read the sentence 3 times, you need to revise it.
Too many conjunctions. Now people are going, what the hell is a conjunction? Words like, instead of saying he will go, he'll.
Contractions.
Contractions. 1 or 2 in a book is good, but when every other word is a contraction, that is not going to work. Because that tells me that the writer is either lazy or doesn't understand the flow of writing. The writer is writing like they may speak, and that's all well and good to do that, but you got to understand you're not writing for this many people, you're writing for the masses. And after a time, if somebody's reading contractions word after word after word after word, they're going to quit reading. Or they're going to skip to the back of the book and go, oh, this is how this ends. Goodbye. Then, after that's done, I go and I start looking for what I need to build a cover. Trust me, it is not an easy process. Because I get the basic graphic I want. Then I have to build on it. It's like baking a cake or building a house. I have the foundation, but then I want to add what makes the cover stand out, not blend in. Because the front of that book is what causes a person, whether they're looking on Amazon or in a bookstore or somebody else shows them the book, that makes that person want to take that book in their hand and go, wonder what this is about. So you flip it over to read the synopsis. So once I get that built, and I have to be very careful with the color of the wording, because if I send it in and Amazon can't see the name and the title, they're going to say, this ain't going to work. You're going to have to fix it.
There has to be contrast.
Right. Once that is done, then I work on the back cover. And again, I build the foundation. And then I build on top of it and with the synopsis. The back cover starts the reader into the story. The front cover makes the reader want to pick up the book. The back cover makes them want to open the book and read it. So I get those two things together. I send the manuscript and the front and back to the author and say, okay, this is ready on my part to go up. Check for anything that you want to add to or make corrections to. They send it back, say, all is fine, or I don't think Aunt Susie's going to like that cover. Will you change it? No. Because Aunt Susie doesn't know marketing. Aunt Susie doesn't understand the mission of Midnight Publishing. We put the book up. I go on to Amazon. I have to tell Amazon the title, the author. Then we go down to the description. Then I have to do all this other housekeeping to get to the second page, which is, okay, now you can upload your manuscript. Upload the manuscript. Okay, do you have a cover? Do you want us to build a cover? No, I have a cover. In the meantime, I have put the cover aside because then I have to download a calculator, a cover calculator, so it can give me the template so I know how wide to make the spine. Yes, it's a process. So I go back to my computer and I create a spine. And every format is different. So I pull up the template, I put the front, the back, the spine. I save it as a PDF file and as a JPEG. Go back to Amazon and upload it. So it says, okay, you've got all this uploaded. Now let's see what you did. So then you have to go and launch preview. Because if you don't launch preview and you give it the okay to print and there's a mistake, or the cover's out of whack, or the words bleed out of the
Off
side,
the margin.
the margins, they're going to kick it back anyway. And you got to go back and fix it. So go and
And
look.
trust me, folks, that's not a simple process. Depending on whether it's a book that's all text or one that has images. I mean, I can only imagine the Chocolate Lover's Garden. That is so image rich. How many images there had to, and you have to go through page by page by page, because if you don't, Amazon knows that you haven't checked every single page,
And they
and they'll kick it back just to spite you.
and they will say, if you don't fix this, it ain't happening. Because Amazon has a standard too. So once I go in and I launch the preview, oh, before I even get that part, Amazon says, do you want us to assign an ISBN or do you have one? Well, I'll let them assign one. So then I have to copy the ISBN, go back to the manuscript, put it in there on the copyright page, save the document, go back to Amazon, and then finish uploading. So I go to the launch the preview, and I start clicking. And if I see something, I don't even finish clicking. I just go back and fix it. Let's say I know that this book is going to go to hardcover. And I'm looking at the soft cover and the title is way out here. It's okay for the soft cover sometimes, but it's not going to work on the hardcover. If the book is a 6x9, and all of our books are 6x9 except our children's books, and they're 8.5 by 8.5. If for some reason I didn't change, and this has happened, I didn't change my manuscript that I'm working on to a 6x9, and I put it up there, and I open it up to the launch preview, and I go, oh crap, what'd I do?
You got
Because
words
it's
coming off everywhere.
It's everywhere. So I go back to the manuscript, I change it to a 6x9, I look at it again, I go back and re-upload it, I go back to the launch preview, and start going through it again, page by page. One time I even forgot to put page numbers up. I'm going, where are the page numbers? Crap. Go back to the manuscript, put the page numbers in, save it again, go back and upload it again. It's all of the little things that count
They add up.
quickly. So when an author comes back to me and says, oh, can you take this book down and redo it because I left something out, or I found a mistake, a minimal mistake, or whatever reason. After I've already gone through that entire process and you want me to take that damn book down and put it back up. Let me tell you what would happen if you had sent it off to a Vanity Press or one of the big six. They would tell you, tough tutus.
Mm-hmm.
It's done. If you go back to them and you say, oh, I don't like that cover, will you change it? They're going to say, nope, not happening. Or they're going to say, yeah, we'll change it, but it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Yes, couple hundred, maybe $1,000.
Because they have to redesign that entire cover.
And they have to pay somebody to do that redesign.
They do. They have to go back. They have to find the graphics. They have to go back to their cover designer and say, oh, Susie Q doesn't like that little bird on her cover. We need to change it. And the designer's going to say, okay, it's billable hours. What I make look easy is from years of trial and error. Like I said, the first books I published was on Lulu. And if you think Amazon is a challenge, Lulu's even worse. I mastered Amazon. Mary tells the story about the children's books. Mastered the children's books. Mastered graphic novels. Because it's so detailed oriented that people get frustrated. Number one, people don't know how to change their format to a 6x9. They don't know how to do their margins, don't know how to do their indents, don't know how to put pictures in the page to make them fit. And that's just the paperback. The hardback's a whole different thing. You have to give it a new ISBN number. So you have to go into the manuscript. You have to take out the old ISBN number, slide the new one in there, save it as a hardcover, create your hardcover cover, front and back, load up the manuscript, go to cover, and they say, do you have one or do you want us to make one? I have one, but I need the calculator. You download the hardcover template, which is different
Yes.
from your paperback. Your paperback's straight 6x9, and your spine is dependent on the page numbers of the book. Your hardcover is 6.197 to 9.236. Your spine is wider. And you can ask, but it's a 6x9 book. It is. But your hardcover has a wrap. They have to have that much space for the wrap. So
Well, if anybody's ever looked at a hardcover book, you see the pages are inside. They're not flush with the cover.
exactly, because the cover stands out about that much more.
Yeah.
So you have to pay attention, because if you change that front cover to a 6.197 and a 9.236, and you put it up there, and then you go put it on the template for Facebook, for the Amazon, and you bring up your preview, and your title is way off the margins, try to get it approved. They're gonna say, no, not happening, honey. No, you got to fix it. So then you don't know how to fix it, because you paid somebody to do that cover. They don't know how to fix it because they don't have the formula. Ladies and gentlemen, I do this all day long,
Every day.
every day. There's a program that I use to do our shorts with. And when I first started putting up our shorts, I didn't know that I could have the narrator do the talking. I have so much fun with that now. But I sit there and I make that narrator do what I want it to. It's AI. So until I get exactly what I want, I will play with that thing for 20, 30 minutes to get it to do what I want to before I ever put it up. Yes, I make it look easy, but Mary's seen me do it. She will tell you, from the time I get up until my body says, hey, stupid, it's time to stop, I'm going to shut you down, I do this for y'all. So all I am asking is that you market yourself and share. That's the best marketing in the world.
Yeah. And if you don't know how, we are going to have a class on this. But the easiest way to market yourself is to share what Yvonne or I or any other author puts out there. Just share what you see. And yes, it would be helpful if you make a comment on it. The more you add to a shared post, the more traction it gets. It's like, if any of you have ever gone to a Chamber of Commerce networking event, or most Chamber of Commerce have these public events, like a ribbon cutting. There's a new business open in town, and they have a ribbon cutting, and you go because free food and drinks. Why not? And, maybe it's a restaurant. Maybe you want to test out a new menu or whatever. You go, and lo and behold, there's somebody there you know. Well, I didn't know you lived in this side of town. Yeah, I'm over here all the time. Well, let's meet for lunch. And do you mind if I bring a friend? No, of course not. Next thing you know, you've expanded your circle. And that's what we're doing at Midnight Publishing. Yvonne will create a little short video, or she'll just get the Amazon link and she'll put the statistics. So many of our books are actually in the top 100s in their categories. There are some that are way high, and there's some that barely eke past that. And then there's some that, I've got a couple of my books that might be ranked like, 20,000. And that sounds scary, like, oh my gosh, they're not doing very well. But if you think about how Amazon has 44 million copies of books, that's just individual titles. That 10 or 20,000 ranking looks pretty good. So there are different ways, and we'll get into the details of that during our class, of how you can turn statistics around to help you. But for now, if you see that any of us have shared a post about a book, doesn't have to be your book, doesn't have to be my book, doesn't even have to be Yvonne's book. Maybe Yvonne wants to share something that Edgar Allan Poe wrote. Share it, because what that does is it gets your name out there. It gets Midnight Publishing out there. Every time Yvonne shares on YouTube, 11,000 people see it. Those 11,000 people, if they like it, they share it, and it goes, that 11,000 now is 22,000.
And that's why our podcast pops up on the YouTube app on your television.
Yep.
20 years worth of marketing. That's why it happens.
Uh-huh.
And our goal this year is to bring authors on here to talk about their books, to talk about their struggles, to talk about their, oh, this is an ugly, dirty word, their insecurities.
Yeah.
And if you say, well, I'm not insecure, I got this, you're lying to yourself. I already know better. I've been out there. I already know better. You ask yourself daily, am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Will people like my book? Will people read my book? Is it good enough? Well, you've already defeated your brand. Not every book is for everybody, but there is a book for everybody.
Yes. And I had another thought too about this insecurity and writer neuroses. Writers need to promote other writers, and one of the easiest ways to do that is by leaving reviews. Now, Amazon will not allow you to leave a review if you haven't bought the book. But you don't have to, you might go buy the book or borrow the book from the library. That doesn't mean that you can't leave a review. You just write the review, put it as a post on your page, put a picture of the book cover, and say, here's a book review I just wrote. Tag the author. I don't care if it's Ernest Hemingway. Yes, he's dead, but he still has a Facebook presence. You do what you can to get your name out there. And you do what you can to let people know that you're not only about yourself. It's not what can I do for me, it's what can I do for you. But at the same time, let people know, by the way, I'm selling books too.
In the world of liars and lawyers, which are one and the same, it's called a quid pro quo.
Yes.
It is something for something. And you may say, well, I don't want anything. I call BS on that. I do. This is a business. And you have to think of your book as a business. If you want to think of it as a hobby, I suggest you stop writing and go play racquetball or something.
Yes.
You have to think of this as a business.
You are the business. The books are your products.
Exactly.
Just like Yvonne and I both paint. We're both photographers. We are creators. And there may be times that we stop with our books and dedicate our days to painting, or we start going out on photography outings. Who knows? But you're going to find that we're going to be promoting that. I've seen Yvonne put up pictures of her paintings, and she'll say, yes, it's for sale. And there's nothing wrong with that, because Yvonne is the business, and all of these things, whether it's painting or photography or books, these are her products. And
you have to, I don't mean to interrupt, but if I don't say this out, I'm going to lose it. You have to understand that your time is worth something. Yeah, what I do here, what Mary does with me, we do for nothing. We do the workshops for nothing. We do this for nothing. Mary bills promotion for other authors to talk about where their books are in the rankings. Our time is worth, if we were charging billable hours, you could not afford us.
no.
If you
And
go
in the next week or two, we're going to be posting Midnight Publishing's best-selling authors. We've been doing that since, I think, November. We started in November. And every month, it always amazes me who's on that list. It
Right.
changes.
As of today, Carol Bellavance is our biggest author with Holding On to God's Hand Through the Storm. Duct Tape, Tarp, and a Shovel is behind that. Dale Veely's books are behind that. Now, are we selling hundreds of books? No, that's not the point.
And it doesn't really matter if Carol sells 3 books in January and Yvonne sells 2 books in January and Dale sells 1 book. They're still our top 3 best sellers. But they're selling way more than that. They're selling dozens of books. We'll, at the end of the month, Yvonne will give me a list of who has done what. And I'll create the little awards, and then we'll post them out there. And these are things, what blows my mind is we have posted these for 3 months now, 2 months, November, December. Not everybody has snagged them and shared them.
No.
And they're easily shareable. When one of my books wins an award, whether it's a bestseller or book of the month or whatever it happens to be, I want to make sure everybody knows. I'm very proud of how my books do in the rankings, because that's outside of me. I can control the words that go in the book. I can control the voice. But once it's been published, everything after that is out of my control. And that's going to be the topic of our next class.
And what you also have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is we don't gauge the success of our authors by the totality of the books they sell because our authors are successful one book at a time. This is what I told Sherry Richardson when we first put out The Chocolate Lover's Garden. She was getting very discouraged, and I said, look, you've already done a successful thing. After 25 years, the book is out there. It will sell in due time, one book at a time.
And you know, this brings me to an idea about the marketing. People say, well, I don't know how to market. Well, don't think of it as marketing. Don't think of it as advertising. You don't need a degree in it. All you need to do is share your milestones. Hey, I just sent my manuscript to Midnight Publishing. Hey, my publisher told me my book goes live in 2 weeks. Hey, my book comes live in a week. Look, my book is live tomorrow. Okay, don't stop there. You might not sell a book for a month, might be 6 weeks, might be 6 hours. Because I know some of our books, the minute they hit the market, they were selling. So you start, you say, this book is out, it's now in paperback. As soon as you find out that it's ready in Audible, you make an announcement. You just tell the world. Because what that does is it puts your brand out there.
And we do pre-orders on Kindle. Every book is pre-order. The pre-order goes live before anything else does. If you have a website you use, you get your folks to send their emails to you, and you send out a little blurb. Here's the cover of my new book that's going to be released on a certain day. When I send my authors their book cover, I don't send it just because I have nothing else to do with my day.
That's a perfect marketing tool.
That's what I tell them. Start promoting your book. Coming soon in 2 weeks, released on such and such a day, goes pre-order live on Kindle on this day. It's on Audible now, because Audible, I can only do Audible after the Kindle goes live because they pull from the Kindle book. And that's another whole story. When I do Audible, now, y'all hold on to your ass, Fred, because this is going to be a ride. Don't get your knickers in a twist. AI is not the devil. You had been using AI since computers came out and we had to use DOS. I'm just saying. Computers are artificial intelligence. You feed into it what you want it to do, and it spits out what you want it to do if you tell it right. It's like I used to tell my mother. It's like a 13-year-old kid that you want to take out the garbage.
Oh.
You give it one instruction at a time, and eventually it understands and will do what it's supposed to do. I have an author right now that refuses to allow me to put their book up on Audible because they are a voiceover person and they don't want to lose their job. And how is that working out for them? That's beside the point. The point is, when Amazon first brought Audible on as AI, as beta, they said, would you be willing to help us out? Sure. I know what it costs to put your books through an Audible agent. I have 4 of them out there that somebody else did for me, and it cost me over $2,000. $2,000. So that was over $500 a book. Let me tell you, they're not that great. I can't even get those books back. Anyway, that's beside the point. I did a workaround. So when Amazon said, will you help us? Absolutely. So they put up this list of voices in different parts of the country. There's a Southern female 30 to 40, a Southern female 50 up, a male 30 to 40 Southern, there's British, there's Midwestern. And when it first started, yeah, it was rather static. That's okay. Because the more I use those voices, the more they do what I want them to do. And Mary will tell you, when I put up steep steps, she said, Yvonne, that's exactly the voice that I had in my mind.
Yeah, it was perfect.
So, for those voiceover people, those people that do Audible for a living, let me tell you something, honey. This ain't gonna take your job, but I'm gonna use it. And we are selling Audible books. When I tell you that I use AI for graphics for the interior of a children's book and your book covers, they don't, AI doesn't build that cover for me.
No, no. I know when I was working with the children's books before you and I made our connection here at midnight, I used 5 different programs to design one page or one cover. And there's a lot of cut and paste. There's a lot of blending and changing, and there's a lot of work, a lot of design work, a lot of artwork that goes into this.
So when you holler at me because I use AI, understand this. AI is a tool. I still have to do the work.
Okay, right now, you and I are talking to each other. It takes us an hour and a half. If I was to drive to your house, it would take me an hour and a half to get to you. We have had people on our show before. We had Ellie Ryan on, and I think you had Andrea. We all live in different cities. We're using a program called Riverside FM. It's kind of like Zoom, but so much better. Zoom wasn't the first one. It's one we all became familiar with during COVID. Everybody jumped on Zoom. But there are other programs out there. I think Microsoft uses one called Meetup. And you can go on Facebook all day long. There are ways to do it. I don't know how. Yvonne probably does. You can have a guest on your Facebook Live. There are ways you can pick up your phone and call Africa with your Facebook. I've done that. I've talked to people all over the world using WhatsApp. That is AI. Our digital phones and digital streaming services that allow us to podcast and make videos, it's nothing short of computer technology. People call AI the devil because it's artificial intelligence. Well, we call these things smartphones. You gotta be smart to use one. The reason they're smart is because there's artificial intelligence in them. All that AI has done is made this technology more readily available to us. It used to be you had to have a computer program engineering degree to be able to access it.
And
I don't know how many people know how to create their own website. I've done it. It's not as easy for me as it is for others. Nowadays, everything is plug and play. You want to create a website? Here's a template. You just put your pictures here, you put your words there, you do this, you do that. I created a website years ago using
code.
just HTML language.
And it
Now,
makes
you want to talk about artificial intelligence?
And if
So
you got
it's not It's not the devil.
It's a
It's
tool.
it's a tool. That's all it is.
And
And I will say this, if you don't want to participate with the tools that Midnight Publishing uses, don't even bother to sign up with us.
please don't.
We have enough people and enough books that we can stay busy just promoting what we've already done. And there more books are coming. I've got, oh, I haven't told you this one. I was talking to my son the other day and I said, "Oh gosh, Matt, I have an idea for a book." He says, "What? You're gonna do? You already told me you're gonna do one about your heart attack, like a graphic novel." I said, "No, it's a murder mystery." He said, "Mom, you don't write murder mysteries." I said, "I know. I don't write sci-fi either, but I've got the idea. So eventually, if I live long enough, I'm gonna get them done. Plus, everything else is already on my computer file.
She just got to send it to me.
I gotta have the strength to do more."
But what, and ladies and gentlemen, when I put your Audible book up, I take the time because I'm already hearing the book in my head because I've already read it multiple times. So I don't just go pick a voice. I listen to the samples. Also, on Audible, I, d- I do the, there's a little sidebar where, do you want this changed? Do you want that changed? It's not just plug and play. I am going to use every tool that I can find for your books. I do it for my own. I am going to put you in the best light possible. If you don't want that, or if you want to fight me every cotton picking step of the way, then please, please, please go pay somebody else to do it. Because you're going to find you cannot afford it. On our Facebook page is a list of what editors cost, how much they charge, the way they charge, the formatting process, the publishing process. Everything is the graphic design process. And let me tell you, when you pay somebody to do your cover, guess what they use?
They use computers.
And they use AI. They go find that graphic, and more times than not, they pay to pull that graphic down to build on, and they're going to charge you for that graphic. And some of those graphics run into the hundreds of dollars. I've already been there, done that. I know how long it takes to build a cover from start to finish. I redesigned the covers on most of my books. I redesigned the covers on Andrea's books. I redesigned the covers on Mary's books. And the first thing I say, are you married to this cover? Because if you're married to the cover and you don't want to keep your mind open to the possibility that it can be a different eye-popping, standing out cover, because Aunt Susie liked this cover over here, you're going to put your brand, your product in jeopardy because Aunt Susie doesn't like your cover, then please go someplace else. Please go someplace else. Because right now, this year, Mary, I would venture to say by the end of this year, we will have over 100 authors.
You made that prediction in December, and I believe it. We're moving, and
we're moving at lightning speed.
Yeah, and I don't know how you keep up with it.
I do a lot of praying. Some days I do a lot of bad words. Some days I just want to pull my hair out. But then I have authors like you that just say, here, do it. Authors like Connie Stiegel. Oh, yeah, her book is coming out on the 2nd. It's called Blind Date. Oh, honey, hush. That little book. That little book is amazing. It ain't what you think it is. No, it's not a feel-good book at all. Mm-mm, no,
Oh,
it's
really?
it's got a twist and turn that will make you go, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Connie sent me a thing last night. She said, "I got another story. Do you want it?" I said, "Yes." C.R. Dunham's book will be out on the 26th, which is in 5 days. It's called Right This Way. That book is phenomenal. The elevator version is it's about a guy who's down on his luck. He wants to be immortal. So he runs across this person of questionable character. And the guy says, "Yeah, you can be immortal, but there's a hitch." And the hitch is this: you got to run my carnival. The guy says, "Okay, no problem." Hmm. That's when the problems start.
I bet.
It is good versus evil. It is coming to terms with who you are in this world and what you're about. It is about making choices. It is about loyalty or lack thereof. This was a book that CR has been working on for a hot minute. And again, I said, and because I've known him a long time, I said, "Are you going to trust this process? Are you going to fight me on it? Because if you're going to fight me on it, I'm not going to do it. I don't have time to be fighting with authors because they won't listen."
For free.
Yeah, for free. Yeah, I'm not doing it. This is the year that, as my daughter says, you might see ugly. Because
But it's not even being ugly. It's standing your ground. It's having boundaries. And if people want to keep crossing the boundaries, they're going to be stepping on your toes.
yeah, I don't do that well.
And you don't do well with that. So I really want to encourage people, if they want to do it their way, don't come here.
No.
I
Because it,
cannot testify deeply and strongly enough how my life has changed for the better once I learned to trust the process and release myself from the need to control every aspect of it.
when you give yourself permission to let go, you give yourself permission to go to the next project.
Yep.
You can
Or
hold
in my case, I gave myself permission to have a heart attack and
well,
heal.
that too. But had you not already let that lesson sink in, we might not have you because you would have been fighting the doctors left and right. Or you might not
I
have even
really
gone to the
believe
hospital.
if I had not gotten those books published, God would have just said, "Oh, she's not heeding the lessons I'm giving her. Let's just take her out of here and make her start the process all over again."
And then I wouldn't have been happy. Because Mary and I have been friends for a long, long, long time. Mary gets the oddity of me. And yes, I am odd. I'm unique. I'm strange. I'm weirdly imperfect. But I'm perfect in those imperfections. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
This whole midnight publishing thing is a God thing. God gets all the credit for everything we've done.
Absolutely.
I didn't do this on my own. And I am not going to take credit for it. Because let me tell you what will happen. We will lose everything that we have accomplished because we did not give credit where credit is due. And that is to God. Because I'm the one that said, "God, what am I going to do here?" And God said, "You're going to do this." Be careful what you ask for.
Yes.
Because when you get it, you got to be prepared to follow it through. Has it put a cramp in my writing? Some. Is it going to matter? No, because I get to it. It happens. What is important now is getting your voice out there. But you got to let me do it. You can't say, well, just do a little bit. Just that much.
No, that's just
Not going to happen.
not going to happen. It's not the way to get your books done.
No. Because I guarantee you, no other publisher will do it. I've run the gamut. Especially, oh, well, I'm going to get an agent. An agent's going to get me in a big house, and big house is going to, let me tell you what this big house is going to do. They're going to take your book, they're going to do the cover, they're going to rewrite the book, they're going to put it out there, and they're going to tell you what events you can go to.
And yeah, they will pay you up front, maybe. They won't pay you a lot. It's all dependent on how they think your book will sell. And your advance is exactly that. It has to be paid back.
If the books don't sell.
If the books don't sell, you got to pay them back.
And guess who else you have to pay? You have to pay the agent.
You have to pay your agent 15, sometimes 20%, whether your book sells or not.
Or not. So you are already behind. And I know people come to me and say, well, what's the catch? Honey, there is no catch. The only catch is that you let go. And
There's two catches. You have to let go, and you have to help yourself by sharing what Yvonne already puts out there. And trust me, let me tell you guys, and ladies and gentlemen, if you are a proactive poster on any social media, Yvonne will take your stuff and share it. Or she'll take your stuff and animate it for you. That just, I created several posts a while back, and then the next thing I see, I'm being tagged, and I'm like, wait a minute, that looks familiar. But this is a little short video. I didn't do that. She works with what you give her. And if you give her nothing, you get nothing.
Lizard Patrol, Mary's last book she sent me. I just did an animation.
With talking. It was so cute.
With 7-second video. The Lizard Patrol is about a tabby cat. They had an orange tabby cat. And he was the master of all he surveyed. His name was Kenny. And when I did the cover, I put Kenny in a uniform, not just
He was wearing a military general uniform.
Military general's uniform. Well, this animation, he's looking at a lizard and he's screaming something to the effect of, "You won't get away from me this time," and goes to swipe the lizard as the lizard runs off, and he looks at the camera and he goes, "Oh, foiled again."
That was so priceless.
And I didn't tell her I was doing it. I just did it and sent it to her. I thought she's going to fall out of her chair when she saw it.
Yeah, you got to remember, my heart's a little weak right now.
But that's what I do. The videos are not even run-of-the-mill videos. Oh, go buy their book. It's live now on Amazon. No, the books come alive.
I love also the one from the balcony.
Yeah.
You had the girl on the front cover, and she turns and looks at the camera, and she says, "From the balcony, short stories by Mary Brotherton on Amazon." I'm like, what? Too good.
Any marketing, any multimedia PR person would charge you per video
A couple $100.
for 7 seconds. any PR person would charge you to have somebody else promote that work, as in my daughter, who every time
Yes.
she sees something, she just starts sharing the daylights out of it. Ladies and gentlemen,
You know, yesterday she not only shared, you know, it's easy enough to click the share button. You click share, click yes, click this, click whatever. But she adds to it.
she does.
She took that one of me holding my 6 children's books that you did in 2 weeks, and she talked about Midnight Publishing. She said, "This is what we do." And she named me, she named you, and I think she named Gwendolyn,
I think so, yeah.
and she may have named somebody else, but she tagged us and said, "These are the people, you know, they write books and they cover every subject known to man."
Well,
She
Brandy
doesn't have to do that.
no, but she works at night, for crying out loud, and she's also a creator of artistic things. You see this piece of work back here? She made
Yeah.
she made that. She makes she makes bouquets for weddings, bridal bouquets and bridesmaids bouquets and centerpieces. Eh, She's very, very artistic. But she does this because she believes in Midnight Publishing. She believes in the author. Sure, she could do it for Mama because I'm her mama. She's
Yeah, but if that was the case, she would just promote your books.
exactly. She promotes
She's
everybody,
promoting everybody's books at Midnight Publishing.
and she has no dog in this fight.
And it's not like, oh, well, I'm going to help promote my mom's business because when she dies, I get a portion of it. There's no money to get.
No money to get. When I put the TikTok account up, I said I need. She called me. I said I need you to go on and share the TikTok account. Honey, she was sharing the daylights out of it to other people so that they would come and be part of the TikTok account so they could share it. This is the nucleus. So this is Midnight Publishing. When I post on Midnight Publishing, it goes out this way. Okay, so we got this little bitty nucleus. It goes out this way, like a spider web. When I tag Mary, and Mary reshares it, then it goes out this way, it goes out this way, and then it goes out this way. When Andrea shares it, it goes out this way, it goes out this way, and it
Yep.
goes out this way. So it becomes like a tidal wave of marketing.
Absolutely.
And that's why we say every author needs to share every other author's promotions. Whatever I put up on the Midnight Publishing page, everybody needs to hit that share button and put it on their page and ask their people to share it as well. I go back.
And that was why I asked you a couple weeks ago to put a list of all the authors. And I was shocked because there are some authors that don't participate on Facebook.
Right, and they should.
But if they are on Facebook, I'm sharing them and tagging them. And if I find them, there's been a couple who have found me, or we found each other on Instagram and on X.
Uh-huh.
So we're still doing the same thing over there. That's 3 times as many. And you've got 21 outlets.
I got 21 outlets, and I'll probably have more for it's over with because that's what I do. I'm all the time looking for new outlets to put my people out there and myself. I don't talk about myself much. I don't even market my books much because I'm busy taking care of the flock. That's what a shepherd does. If people find my books, fine. But it's important that I take care of those that I am responsible for. And if a particular author decides, well, I'm just out there, go ahead, do what you're gonna. I'm sorry, that's not the way it works. If you were in a Viking ship, and Viking ships were run strictly by sails and manpower, and there were 20 or 30 men at the oars. Viking ships were built low to the water. So you have 20 or 30 men on each side rowing. If one man decides he doesn't want to row, that ship is not going to reach its destination. Because there is one piece of the cog missing out of that wheel.
Yeah.
All of you are a cog in this big wheel. And when one of you quit rowing, it puts extra work on everybody else to get.
Puts drag on the ship.
Yeah. When you see these, and it's most of it is up north, but you see these rowers. They're in these flat bottom rowing, and
Yeah,
they're rowing.
they call it crew.
Yeah, and they row in unison.
Yeah.
And if one of the crew is not rowing in unison or is dragging, puts the whole crew out of sync.
And they have one person at the helm with a megaphone. Sometimes they just do it with their own voice, but they usually use a megaphone, and they call out, row, row, row. And that's what you do.
Yep.
And in the military, they have drill instructors who teach this cadence
Yep.
as they're marching. And there's a reason for this. Number one, if everyone is marching or rowing or promoting their books as one in unison, it creates a I don't want to say vortex, but it's kind
rhythm.
of like a vortex, a rhythm. And it makes it easier for everybody. If everybody's doing their own thing willy-nilly, whatchamacallit, it doesn't matter. It's chaos.
And I don't do chaos well.
No.
No, I don't do chaos at all. My life is very structured. And I don't like chaos. Because as the politicians say, chaos creates a platform.
Yeah.
And we don't want that kind of platform.
No.
And politicians never turn down chaos. Your detractors, your naysayers, the people that are in your ear going, well, you're not very successful. You haven't done da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You haven't sold all these books. You're not out there that's the chaos. That's the detractors. That's the people that are telling you you are not enough because they're not enough in their mind. They haven't reached their dream, their goal, their aspiration because they haven't understood that it takes dedication, a leap of faith, and an understanding that if you don't try, you've already failed.
Absolutely.
Another Stanleyism.
Exactly.
Failure is not an option at Midnight Publishing. The only failure is if you say, well, someday I'm gonna, I need to, I'm too busy. I would, but well, I'll work. Honey, I worked 3 jobs, had 3 children, and still work.
Some of my most productive years were when I worked full-time, went to school full-time on an academic scholarship, tutored as part of my scholarship, had kids, one in school, one in the Navy, was big involved in my church and community activities and was going through a divorce. The busier I was, the more productive I was.
The biggest
But I had to wait another 20 years before I got out of my own way to start publishing my books.
I started being quote unquote, I was already successful, but I started being quote unquote successful in the publishing world when I moved to Florida and married a man with health issues and became his full-time caregiver 24/7. I wrote, I published, I ran a talk show 3 to 4 nights a week, and I took care of him 24/7. And I mean, this man had massive health issues. So don't come at me with excuses. They're not reasons. They are excuses because you don't want to do it. Admit it. I can take that. Oh, I don't want to promote. I just want to sit here and watch things happen. Okay, I can get that. But don't tell me I'm too busy to hit the share button. Don't tell me, well, I just
Especially
scroll.
when you're sharing everybody else's everything else.
Exactly. Those days are over. They are done. You're either
Well, that's an
in or out.
easy fix. Those who share get shared.
Right.
Those who don't share get left in the dust.
We are a family, and as a family, we support each other. Yes, we might not always agree with each other, and that is fine. I don't care what your political view is. I don't care what your sexual orientation is. I don't care what your religious faith is. That's not what we are about here. We are about publishing books.
Yep.
So take all the noise away. Take every bit of the noise away and decide what you are committed to. Because we're not going to have this conversation again. We're going to teach you. But we're not going to have this come to Jesus meeting again. Because if we do, probably going to lose some authors. Just saying. As my friend Peggy Engler told me last night, Yvonne, I don't know the publishing world. That's why I just let you do it. She just sends me her manuscripts and says, go for it. And this woman's 80
Yeah, you don't.
something years old.
That's amazing.
And she didn't get published until she was 80 years old. And then I had to drag her kicking and screaming into this world. And now she loves it. Just saying. Don't poke the bear. And I
You
think
dragged a few kickers and screamers.
but they don't understand. I'm a little bit more stubborn than they are. As my kids. But we will leave you all with this today. We will be back next week. Mary, get better. I need a book. Send me a children's
Yes, we
book.
will.
Just send me what children's book you got ready. We'll put it up there. You need a new book out. So
I don't have one ready.
Send me
I had done them.
send me
I
Go
had
with
done them
Angels.
all.
Send me Go with Angels. Let me redo the cover and get it up.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Don't, Lord have mercy, Meg. Just
I'll.
spend 5 minutes a day. Just 5 minutes a day.
Girl, you are trouble.
You just now
But
figured
I'll-
that one out. After 20 years, you just now figuring that one out.
You are the best kind of trouble, though. I love it.
Send me Go with Angels.
Before we wander off, I want to remind everybody that our second class will be on the second Tuesday of February. And we're going to talk deeper about trusting the process and letting it go. And hopefully we'll give you some ways to do that.
And last time when we had our debut workshop, we had 3 people show up. Now this is a
Yeah.
free cotton picking workshop, people. Can you imagine if we'd have put it somewhere in a hotel and spent thousands of dollars
Charged you for it? Yeah.
and charged you for it? 3 people showed up. It's not like y'all don't know this. Yeah, you can watch it in the archives, but it's more fun when you can engage and ask questions. Ask the people that we're
Yeah.
speaking of. Have you heard from them? Have you heard from Denise and or
I've
Anara?
heard from Denise. I've heard from Denise.
Okay.
She wanted to send me, she wanted my physical address so she could send me the contract. And I said, no, ma'am. I said, if you can't sign it electronically, print it out, sign it, and take a photograph of it. And then send it to Yvonne at the Midnight Publishing address. I said, because that, I'm not doing that.
No, we're not doing mail. Not with the technology we have. So we're going to close because I warned Mary out, and she's going to send me Go with Angels, and we're going to get
She's
that
gonna
out.
take a nap first.
Then we're going to do Go with Angels. I'm going to go bowling, and just bear in mind all this, people. We are your best friends in this business.
We can be, but
All right.
don't push us.
No, because I've already been pushed enough in the last couple of days, and I ain't gonna be pushed no more. This is a new
There's no
year.
need for that. There,
It's a new
even
year.
if you were getting paid, I know you wouldn't put up with BS.
No, I'd be sending
The
the money
fact
back.
that you're doing this as a service to God, you don't deserve to have people abuse you.
Not happening.
No.
I didn't like it the first 2 times it happened way back in the day. No, not happening. So with that, I'm gonna say, have the day you deserve, and may people be as kind to you as you are to them. And we will have more Stanleyisms.
I like
think
that.
when you do go on Canva, put up some Stanleyisms. And when people say, what are Stanleyisms? You can direct them to the book.
I can do that.
I love you.
I love you. Take care.
All right, my darling. Take a nap.
Bye-bye.
Bye.